So tell me this, have you ever encountered this scenario? You have PCOS, you're going to the doctor, they give you birth control pill and say, come back if you want to have kids. Now, let me tell you 5 reasons why you should balance your hormones naturally, even if you don't want to have kids. So, this is a little bit of controversial topic, and before I start with anything, I want to say this is not a medical advice. This is just something that I found in few articles, and I'm not going to go super in depth about all the processes that are happening in our body that will make you actually maybe go off birth control. Always contact your doctor and maybe bring it up to them so you can make an informed decision. What I want to talk about today, I've been talking with a lot of women with PCOS that actually have this exact scenario, and I was also one of them. We are being told very often that the magical pill for our all symptoms is a birth control pill, but we are never told how important sex hormones are and actually what birth control might have as a side effects. And not even talking about side effects, let's talk about people who cannot be on birth control or have severe birth control side effects. So how do they manage hormones and why should they actually focus on managing hormones? Let's go through it. Now, apart from having babies and fertility, your sex hormones are very important for a few things. First of all, bone density. Many of you have probably heard that when we hit menopause, our bone density is decreasing very, very rapidly. So the level of our sex hormones are very important for our bone density. And I have read an article which was talking about estrogen mostly, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I think estrogen has the biggest impact for our bone density. If you want to make sure that your bone density is intact, you have to make sure that your hormones are in balance. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you have to go off birth control to make sure that you have a good bone density, because we know that very often for women during menopause, going actually on hormonal replacement therapy is protecting them from losing bone density. That is reason number 1 to make sure that your hormones are in check, apart from having babies, is your bone density. Point number 2 is cancer. Now, if you have ever been on a birth control pill, you certainly read your leaflet, I surely hope so. And in the leaflet it says that it might increase the chance of getting cancer, because unbalanced levels of your sex hormones might actually increase your risk of getting certain types of cancer, for example, breast cancer. So again, your sex hormones are responsible for many things, including your risk of getting cancer. Point number 3 is mental health. Now, I have read some articles about even schizophrenia and sex hormones and about aggressiveness and sex hormones, because it also can include testosterone and all of sorts of sex hormone imbalances. However, if you know anybody who has been on birth control, very often birth control can even alleviate the symptoms of mental health, or it can make them worse. So it's super important to actually observe your reactions and observe your mental health. And of course, mental health is a very tangled issue, so it might have nothing to do with your hormones. But if you see the clear connection that, for example, you have started birth control pill or you have gone off it and you see the rapid change in your mental health, this is something maybe to look into. So again, point number 3 why you should look after your sex hormones is your mental health. Now let's go to point number 4, and this is cholesterol. Sex hormones also influence your cholesterol levels in your body. So whether you're going to do it naturally or whether you're going to do it with help of medication, if your sex hormones are not in balance, it can raise the levels of your LDL cholesterol, your bad cholesterol, in comparison to your HDL cholesterol, which is your good cholesterol. So this is super important, that your levels of sex hormones might be influencing your cholesterol levels, which we know further down the road can lead to many other symptoms like maybe fat liver disease or maybe heart issues and so on and so forth. So again, point number 4, your sex hormones can influence your cholesterol levels and your overall cardiac health as well. And the last one is your sex drive. So even if you don't want to have babies, you probably would like to have a healthy sex drive. And of course, this is a part of our life. I know that many people are not talking about that, and it's still a little bit shameful topic. However, if you notice big changes in your sex drive, if your sex drive is very, very low, it might not be your character, it might just be your hormones. So make sure that you balance your hormones out, because your sex drive is actually the reflection of your sex hormones. So this is super important, and this can also influence your mental health as well, because of course you might have been in a relationship, and even if you don't want babies, you want to have a healthy sex drive. So make sure that you balance your hormones. So that is it. Those are 5 reasons why you should balance your hormones even if you don't want to have kids. Whether you're going to decide to do it with medication or whether you're going to decide to do it naturally, you should definitely make sure that this is in balance, because very often we're just getting prescribed a birth control pill which might not be right for us or might cause other issues as well. But if you still have any of those side effects, if for example you are on the pill and some of your symptoms went away, but you struggle with mental health or your cholesterol is getting up, make sure you speak to your doctor and you find a solution that is good for you. Many women with PCOS are struggling through those challenges when they are on birth control pill or whether they're off it, but there are ways to balance your hormones naturally whether you want kids or not. Don't let your doctor tell you that you can let your hormones imbalanced and suffer through your symptoms, even though you might never want to have kids or maybe not want to have kids at the moment. So that is it. Please make sure you leave me a comment down below and tell me about your experience. Have you ever been told that, like, oh, here is generic birth control pill and come back when you want to have kids? And make sure you like, subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified about my future videos, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.